Hi there, and welcome back to the next part in this mini series on how to prioritize process automation. Today, we're going to be focused in on this second stage of automation here, productivity management, and looking at tools that can be used to drive efficiency above and beyond just eliminating searching for information. All of the tools that we're going to talk about today are really focused on this idea of bringing your team's focus and time to the highest value tasks within the organization. So, again, rather than searching for information or using inefficient processes to drive decisions, these tools are really going to bring information to your team and drive that decision making process quicker than ever before. So, the first tool that we're going to talk about is workflow management. And I think in a lot of people's minds, workflow is very synonymous with process automation because this is kind of the tried and true tool that's used to easily automate processes within an organization. So, the way that I like to explain workflow is it is a tool that allows you to automate linear processes. And what I mean by that is things that go from point A to point B and then on to point C or have defined decision points within the organization. A really great example that I think is pretty universal here and that you may hear from time to time is an accounts payable process being automated using workflow. The reason that this is so widely used is an invoice approval process has a defined set of rules and logic that can drive that invoice around the organization for different folks to make decisions regarding. So when an invoice comes in, it can be routed to multiple levels of approvals to say, yes, go ahead and pay this invoice, or collect information like GL coding along that process. Again, we're really looking at driving predictable processes using workflow automation. The next tool that often gets brought into process automation conversations pretty early on is case management. And the reason case management is so pervasively used at this point is because a lot of decisions that are being made on a day-to-day basis and a lot of processes are much more dynamic than they used to be. So it's no longer yes or no answers to questions. There are going to be processes that require more information from other data sources, documents, maybe email records or phone conversations. And what case management gives you the opportunity to do is collect all of that information centered around your knowledge worker so that they can drive dynamic choices that really require critical thinking or a human brain to make those decisions versus rules and logic. A lot of times, case management and workflow will work hand in hand, bringing workflow in to automate maybe repeatable portions of a process within case management. But case management is a really great tool to use in scenarios where you might be investigating something like in insurance claims, or there are different steps that need to be taken within a process like a revenue cycle management process where you are submitting an appeal for an insurance company not paying something, kind of the opposite side of that claim. And you need to collect all different types of information, and it changes with every single process a little bit with that dynamic nature. The next tool to talk about here is reporting. And I think reporting goes hand in hand with workflow and case management in any kind of foundational tool because it's going to give you the ability to unlock insights into where process hangups may be within those solutions. A lot of times the management teams that we work with will use reporting and kind of graphic representations of how work is being done to make decisions to load balance or check in on somebody to make sure things are going okay and really drive that efficiency to the next level to unlock those insights. And it's kind of cut off here with my video, but the last piece here is integrations. And any tool that you're using to manage productivity should have a wide array of options of how you can integrate with other solutions. So going back to that invoice management solution that we were talking about, your solution should be able to integrate with your ERP system to finalize payment and post payments into that ERP system once approvals are done. Or going back to that claims management solution within case management. Once you've made a decision on whether to pay a claim or not, you should be able to integrate with your policy management solution to finalize that decision. So that integration tool, or those integration toolkits, go really well with that workflow and case management solutions over time. Up next, we're going to talk about process mining, so feel free to click the link below to go on to that next video or keep an eye out for that next email. Thanks and have a great day.